So you grew up in New York,
Yes.
right? Can you tell your story from the beginning when you were a child? You said you grew up in foster care.
Yeah, so I got taken away from my mom when I was about 4.5 years old, 5, and I was in foster care from that age until I was 12. Went to go live with my biological mom for like 2 years.
At 12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't work out. Went back into the system and then stayed until I was 18 and I signed myself out. Yeah.
Okay. When you finally became an adult, when you were 18 years old, you didn't have really like the support system like everybody else does, did you? Or what was going on during that period of time before you entered?
So I went back to go live with my biological mom. I tried to, rekindle our relationship. It was kind of hard because my mom's bipolar and she deals with a lot of trauma from her childhood that she still needs to fix. So it's kind of hard to mend a relationship with someone like that. I did it for 3 years, moved out, and was pretty much on my own from there. And that's when I started the.
And you were trying to get other jobs though before you entered.
Well, yeah, I'm not no lazy bitch. Excuse my French. Like, I started working at 14. I used to do summer youth jobs. And then from there, my passion was culinary. I wanted to become a chef. So I went to Kingsborough. I did a year. My major was hospitality and tourism. And, I was in foster care at that time. So I didn't have any money for clothes or anything. I pretty much just dropped out of college. And then that's when I started working at like lap dance only clubs. And I found the ads on Craigslist.
So you got into because just you just didn't have like the other resources certain people had.
Yeah, I just wanted to be financially stable. Growing up, my mom was homeless, jumping from couch to couch,
Your biological
yeah.
mom, you said. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so I have 2 older brothers, and they also were in the system. So she lost all 3 of her kids pretty much. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And nobody forced you. Obviously, you were an adult when you entered. This was your choice. You had no other means. You didn't have, family to give you money, family to cushion you. And how was the government services that they do offer to foster kids? Because a lot of people don't realize, they think that you guys got it made. They don't understand the reality of what goes on.
Yeah, so my social worker was amazing. She used to always tell me take advantage of what ACS can provide for me. So they paid for my college. Even though I didn't graduate, they did pay for the year that I went. They would also give me checks every like 2 weeks for clothes and books. But again, that's still not enough.
Because you were supporting yourself living. You had to pay your rent. You had to pay
transportation to go to the school and come,
And then you had nobody else to just cushion you, like, people that they have their parents helping them out or whatever. So this was, for survival, you wanted a better life for yourself.
And also, let me clarify this too, because I know there's like a negative, how do I say it, like a negative view on foster parents. And a lot of people talk down on them. Oh, they're just doing it for money. My foster mother was only getting $500 a month for me.
Wow.
That's not a lot.
No.
Nowadays the rent is like $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she was a good foster mother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good. You had,
That's my mom.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love her.
That's good that, you had a good experience, but the reality of, things people don't realize is there's a lot of children going through foster care that don't have, what are they going to do? They don't have that security, and they often do end up in jail or, a life of being, dependent on the government. And with, sex work, you were able to financially take care of yourself.
Yeah, at one point I was dependent on the government when I applied for housing.
Okay.
So they made me apply for it when I was like 18, right before I signed myself out. And I got called like 2 years later, got the apartment.
You didn't get called till you were 20 years old. So for 2 years,
21, I think, around there.
But
it was quick.
But 2 years. So for 2 years, think of somebody from 18 to 21 without. How are you going to pay your rent in New York City? That's you know what I'm saying? Like you did finally get it, but what did you do for those 2 years?
Yeah, so I was working. I was a line cook. So from summer youth, I went to Nathan's, world's famous in Coney Island.
Oh, okay.
And I was a line cook there for about 6 months until it got slow. And then from there, I went to Blink Fitness, was working for about a year and a half, the one in the Utica location. And then my last job was I had Joe's Crab Shack, and then my last job was Shake Shack.
Oh, you worked at Shake Shack?
Yeah, I was a line cook.
Wow. What you were still busting your ass. But a lot of people, I don't know, I noticed during the pandemic, a lot of people thought it would be fun just to join into and they
I've noticed that.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of weird. I've seen people leave like really good jobs, and I myself never had that chance of working that really good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's kind of weird. Like, you know, it's one thing when you work in the service industry and you're young and you're trying to do it, but when you're leaving like a good paying job, you're like, what? Hold on now, get out of here. Like,
they're seeing all the girls making the money, so
right.
they're like, let me jump on the bandwagon, you know?
Yeah, but they want to jump on the bandwagon, but there's a lot of realities of that eventually you do go through. Have you noticed, my biggest thing that I personally warn everybody is you sacrifice relationships, or and what I mean by sacrificing relationships, getting into intimate relationships is not as it's fun. Dating can be not that fun, and then having friends with people that are not in the industry can be another challenge. Have you encountered any of these challenges?
Oh, of course. Just last year, I kind of lost 2 close friends of mine. They just didn't understand my lifestyle. You know, I go on tour, so I like to go to different states, and you know, my job is pretty much like commission. So if I don't see any clients for the week, I'm not making any money. So I gotta be on the go. And a lot of my friends were just like, oh, you're distant, you changed, like I never see you, like you're going to state. And I'm like, yeah, it's a work, it's not for vacation.
Right.
You know, like maybe if you do what I do, not trying to pressure,
right,
you know,
right.
But we'll get closer.
They don't understand the world you're in.
They don't.
Right. No, which is totally, because that's a whole nother thing is it's people don't understand that your lifestyle, you may not be working a Monday, but you might work a Friday. Yeah.
And you know what's even more messed up too, you know, it be those people that are closest to me. Like, you know what I've been through.
Right.
You know, I didn't grow up with, you know, white picket fence and rich family members. Like, I got to go and get it.
Right.
Like, you're going to pay my bills?
Did those friends, did you grow up with friends that had more privilege than you did, or?
No, that's the crazy part.
Really?
Most of my friends, their parents, you know, immigrants.
Oh.
Which baffles me.
Yeah. Usually a child of an immigrant, you know, to go hit the, get to work, get that money. Yeah.